views and opinions expressed here are not intended to malign any religion, ethnic group, club, organization, company, individual, or anyone or anything. This podcast may contain adult language. Audience members' discretion is advised. What's going on, guys? It's Dottie here with another episode of Political Vibes, episode number 2. I hope everybody had a good week. I hope everybody's having a good Friday. My week went pretty good. My Fridays, it's been good so far. Tried to hit the gym and stuff. I try to do that every week, every day. I try not to break that cycle. So that's pretty much, and so it was gym and work was pretty much the thing that consisted of my week. But I'm pretty sure that consists of everyone's week. Everybody's working all the time. Nobody really has a day off anymore. So, but hey, that's a whole another subject for a whole another day. So, but I want to take the time out and tell everyone that I'm very, very appreciative and thank you so much for tuning in to hear my podcast of my first episode. I just want to, just say thank you from the bottom of my heart. This is something that I like to do, which is talk about politics, not in a divisive way, but more of a enlightening way. I think that's the better word. I don't wish to argue with anybody. I don't wish to provoke anybody or anything like that. I just want to, express my side of, of where I'm coming from, and vice versa. I want people to tune in to my show, and if they want to ask questions, please feel free. And it might not, we might not agree on everything, but that's okay. I mean, we're all different, and but we're all under the same God, no matter what religion you're in, or even if you don't do religion at all. I still want the best for everyone, and I would hope everyone will want the best for me and my family and my loved ones and friends and etc. But yeah, guys, again, just thank you so much for tuning in, and I hope it does grow. I was really, really happy with the amount of people that actually tuned in and listened to the whole entire episode. That was great. I'm glad people shared it and stuff like that. I'm really not looking for any kind of like blow up type of thing. I'm not trying to blow up under a podcast or trying to get rich or off of a podcast and stuff like that. Not saying that I will anyway, but my mindset's in just informing people that want to be informed, and people informing me that stuff that I might not know about at the time, or or just make me look at it from a different perspective. Because if you don't know, your perspective is not always the best perspective at sometimes, and we have to be willing to accept that we're not always 100% right. Nobody is, because nobody's perfect, and that's okay. But we need to just help each other out. You know what I mean? Just help each other out and enlighten each other on certain things. But it doesn't have to get to a divisive or hateful or any kind of way that's going to affect somebody, not in a good way. So, yeah, guys, just a side note for, on today's episode. I just wanted to say that. But I did say that this was going to be an important episode. And it's more about just informing things that you can do that can have a positive impact on, your state representatives, your government in general. So before I do get into it, though, I do want to say this app that I am about to share with you guys. I do not work for this app or this company. I'm not trying to self-promote or promote them or anything like that. I just want to cover all my tracks because this is an opinion-based podcast. So I'm just sharing my opinion on what I think, would be a good way to, enlighten you more on just, me talking and giving you guys, facts and articles and stuff like that. But anyway, yeah, so this app is called Countable. That's COUNTABLE. And I came across it a couple years ago. It was just some research I was doing, and I read up on it, and I like what I heard and stuff, and it's a real helpful app. Some of you guys probably already have heard of this, and that's awesome. I hope you guys have a profile, and I hope you guys have setting up your Countable profile and got involved and stuff like that. So if you have already did that, that's great. But for the ones who don't know about this app, let me inform you a little bit on it. So this app, it will help you vote every day. So it's involved in things that, our House and Senate bring up to vote. So if you want to know what your lawmakers are up to, you can do it with the app. So you can just keep up with all your representatives, and it makes it easy to understand the laws Congress is considering. So anything that they're considering putting into law, it shows you what it is, and so it'll let you vote on how you want to vote on it. They have a process of contacting your lawmakers, so you can tell them personally how you want them to vote on bills that's under consideration. So it allows you to message, it has a phone number that you can call the lawmaker's office, and I'm pretty sure that you won't be actually talking to the lawmakers themselves, which that would be pretty cool if I could call in and I don't know, talk to Bernie Sanders 101. That would be pretty awesome. But it'll pretty much, link you with their staff, which is the closest thing to the actual lawmaker themselves. So that's an awesome thing. That's an awesome thing. That's just an awesome kind of extra little thing that's with that. It's pretty cool that you could contact your lawmakers, and they can actually read what you're saying, or you can actually contact their office and talk to one of their staffers and tell them or persuade them to vote how you want them to vote. And so, that's just a good plus. That's the word I was looking for. That's just a good plus that's added to this app. And it has a lot of more features that's added to it as well, other than, just being able to contact your lawmakers. But honestly, that's the most important one, is that you could see what your lawmakers are voting for. You can see how they voted, and it's just a good way of calling them out if need be, because, it's a lot of lawmakers, they go on TV and they do the whole politician part of the job, and they try to, say this and say that. And it makes you be like, okay, well, that's good. Like, I agree with that. Like, that's why, like, I want this person to remain in their position, or that's why I want to vote for them for president, or et cetera, et cetera. But if you see them voting another way by your own eyes, you're like, okay, well, I know you just said this on television, but as I'm looking at how you just voted, it says otherwise. And so pretty much you could catch them in a lie. And so if you catch them in a lie, would you really want this person representing your state, or representing you, or working for you? Because at the end of the day, these lawmakers, no matter how you slice it, they work for us. They just do. They're elected officials. That's why their titles are elected officials. They got elected to serve the people officially. So pretty simple, pretty cut and dry. So yeah, guys. So we're gonna take our first break, and when we come back, I'm going to go further into what makes Countable this great app, and that could help you and just have a better understanding and stuff that you probably would want to check out eventually. It's just going to always be there, so you can pull it up anytime and read through this stuff, and it'll be there for you. So yeah, guys, we're going to take a break, and we'll be right back. Hey guys, we're back here on Political Vibes. I hope everybody was able to get them a snack, or some drink, or some smoke, whatever you want to do. Hey, I cannot judge anybody. I'm not going to judge anybody. Whatever you do in the comfort of your own home, if it's not hurting you physically, hey, I say do it. But anyway, that's just me. So yeah, guys. So I wanted to get back to the topic at hand. We were talking about in the prior segment about this app that will help you vote every day, and that app is called Countable. If you want to read more into this app before you download it, you can go to www.countable.com. That's www.countable.com. So yeah, guys, in the prior segment, we were just talking about how you could you have a process to contact your lawmakers. And you could personally tell them how you want them to vote on bills that's in consideration by Congress. And it's very, very easy. It's pretty self-explanatory. And also, once you make a profile, you can pick certain types of things that interest you, that you might want to keep in touch with politically wise, or just it doesn't even have to be politically. It could just be, just because that certain topic interests you. And those, they have certain topics that you can choose from, like environmental. They have topics on marijuana. They have topics on equal rights. They have topics on gay rights. They have topics on a bunch of things. So that's I just gave you 4, but it's literally like maybe 20 plus that you could choose from, and it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. And it's really easy, which I like. I like that it's easy, and I like that it's it's pretty self-explanatory. So yeah, guys, I wanted to elaborate more on the app itself. So you can directly tell your lawmakers, again, how to vote on a bill, either choosing yay or nay. So they have an option where you could choose to either support the bill, which is nay, or you could not support the bill, which would be nay. And this app provides clear summaries explaining the bills that are up for vote. So, so pretty much the bill that you might be reading to either decide that you wanted to vote yay or nay on it, it will let you know what kind of bill it will let you know what kind of bill it is. It will let you know, what's all in that bill. So if it's some stuff that you might be asking yourself, reading the summary of the bill, you can scroll down and it will have it'll go into depth more on the bill itself. So if you have any questions, I'm pretty sure it will answer anything that you're pretty much thinking about concerning the bill. And so it will have it'll have a summary also for the part of the yay and the part of the nay. So it'll let you know if you vote for this bill, this is what you're voting for. This is how the bill. If you vote yay on the bill, this is what it says, and this is how it'll go if you vote for it. And same thing for the nay. If you vote for nay, it'll let you know, this is what you're not supporting by voting nay for this bill. So it just lets you know in a neutral manner of, hey, if you want to vote yay for this, this is what you'll be voting for. If you want to vote nay for this, this is what you'll be voting for. So it's a really, really neutral way of looking at it, which is good. Neutral is good. So it'll just let you know, it'll let that person that's trying to make this decision, let them know that the ball is in your court. And so my first time downloading the app and voting for my first time, because I think I voted like over 400 times. Like, that's another thing too. It's a little side note that every time that you vote, it'll let you know, it'll tally up your vote. So every time that you vote, it'll just keep on tallying up. So yeah, I think the last time that I checked, I was at like 436 or something like that. So yeah, it's pretty cool in that regard too. But so it, like I said, it'll just let you know on, if you're voting for this particular bill, this is what you'll be voting for or not voting for, and it just puts the ball in the voters' court pretty much, and it lets them decide. And so I like that. It's pretty. It really, really simplifies the bill itself, and which is awesome because it just puts stuff in, a more black and white kind of context, because, and don't get me wrong, like, I don't know, using big words and things like that, like that's okay, and like I'll understand either way it's worded, but I'm old school. I don't know about y'all. I'm really really old school. So if it's more in like, short, sweet, and to the point, then I'm kind of digging that way. More than just the whole, contextualizing everything, and you know, it's just, I don't know. It makes it more than what it should be. Even though this is a vote that could potentially change the way you live your life or anything like that. But if you started putting everything in big words and making it long and drawn out, then I don't know. I feel like it kind of makes the public bored of what you're trying to say. And this app does the opposite of that. It really, really keeps you involved, and it really keeps your attention. So those are really, really two key things that I think that a lot of people who have not heard about this app, I feel like that this is something that you might like, honestly. Just my opinion. But yeah, so you can always do a follow up on your elected officials on voted bills, excuse me. So you can hold them accountable in the next election cycle if need be. And again, we were talking about that in the first segment. I kind of went through there a little bit. It's important that these people who you elected, it's important that they keep that promise on what got them elected in the first place. And by this app, you can follow that, and you can see if they're actually carrying out the things that they said they were going to do or they promised to do to their constituents. That's just an important thing. That's why they're called elected officials. And it's a little side note too. It's just, to me, it shouldn't matter. And this is how I am personally. I don't care if it's a guy. I don't care if it's a woman. I don't care if it's a white person. I don't care if it's a black person, Asian, Mexican, whatever. I don't care if they're serving us and help bettering our lives and help doing stuff in a positive manner, and helping the planet. I feel like that's the way to go, and I don't really care on religion or race or whatever. I don't care about that. Like, what is this person doing to help better my life, my friends, my loved ones, and so forth and so forth? Not just looking out for a particular base, but it's looking out for everyone. And that's why when I talked about in my first episode how I nail home the point of Bernie Sanders. It's because he puts the people first. That's his core value of just his whole campaign, is just the working people. And that's just what he's been about. He's been in Congress for about 40 years, and he's just stuck to the same message, and he's a rock in that regard, and I respect that. And I'm pretty sure he has had a lot of corporate bribes, maybe, or people that are in the corporate industry that are trying to bribe him into doing something a certain way that's not going to benefit the people, something that he constantly talks about every single day. uh, since he's been in Congress. And so that's just, to me, that's one of the important things that I like about Bernie, is because he's always been the same person. Either you like it or you don't like it. And, I'd rather for somebody to be stuck in those kind of ways that is going to like positively impact people in a good way, no matter what their race or gender or religion is. To me, that's what America stands for. But apparently, we're just not there yet. It seems like, but hopefully we're heading in that direction. So yeah, again, you could do follow ups on your elected officials on the app, and that's by either sending a email to them, and you can do that inside the app, or you can actually call them. It's a way for you to look up their phone number. It's pretty self-explanatory. It's not nothing that you have to click this and click that and click that to see. Like, pretty much everything's in one place, which is awesome. So yeah, guys, we're gonna take our last break, and when we come back, I'm going to give you the end of my points of this app being really, really helpful, and just to check it out. Even if you don't download it, just check it out and read up on some stuff, or just play with it. You don't even have to even necessarily make a profile if you don't want to, but just play with it and see, if it's something that you might like. And because we're all going to have to get in this political process, either if you don't like it or not. It's going to force you to, because I know a lot of people are wondering why their wages are still the same. I know a lot of people wonder why why they can't afford good health care. I know people wonder why that they can't go to school like they will want to go, meaning college, because they're buried in student loan debt. I know people wonder about climate change, things like that. So, if you're one of those type of people, or even if you aren't, quite frankly, it's going to let you know eventually, because the times have caught up with us, and it's a lot of stuff that's being put on notice that maybe weren't being put on notice 4 years ago. But that's a good thing, and that's a bad thing at the same time, because it's a good thing because it's waking up people that were not paying attention to this corruption that's been going on in our government for a long time. And it's a bad thing in the regard of, we could have been already past these issues by now. People could already have been getting better wages, could have already been having better health care, things like that. Or marijuana could have been already legalized in all 50 states and things like that. But that's the negative part of it. It's just, we haven't reached that yet, and it's 2020, and we're still pretty much just arguing over race. And it's sad, quite frankly. It really, really is. Because I know majority of the country are not worried about that at the end of the day. But they get sucked into it. But yeah, guys, we're going to take our last break, and we will be right back. Hey, guys, we're back here on Political Vibes. One quick thing before the break. I had a bunch of notifications going off in my headset. So if you guys heard any kind of like notifications or vibrations or anything like that, I'm sorry about that. I got on wireless, like DJ headphones. They're JBLs. They're pretty smooth. I like them. But yeah, like the person always like in the headphones, like she's always talking, like letting me know like I got notified this, I got notified that. So again, if y'all are hearing something, if I'm pausing longer than I should, I'm sorry. It's just like I'm trying to battle with the headphones and trying to talk to you guys too. So yeah. So back to the app. I just had 3 more short things to talk about with the app. And that's just to nail home the point of that these bills that you do vote on, they are delivered to the lawmakers that are in Congress. So these are people that work for our government, that again, that the stuff that you vote on will be delivered to them. Your opinions that you share. So if it's things that you want your lawmakers to know, or if it's stuff, they have a section where it's like a comment page that you could just either just voice your opinion on. You don't even have to even send anything directly to the lawmaker themselves if you don't want to. You can do both. You don't have to, or it's just whatever you're choosing. But they do have an option where it's a comment page and you can comment, and it's a bunch of people come in, obviously, and you're going to have some people who comment in this way that you might not exactly agree with. But again, this is a democracy. That is what debate is for. So if you want to share your opinion, you're more than happy to share your opinion. And again, the opinions that you do share to your lawmakers, they do go to your lawmakers. And the opinions that you share on the comment page, the lawmakers are able to see this as well. So if you send a comment to a lawmaker, obviously they're going to get it because you're sending it to their office. And if you don't send it to them, they can still see the comments pretty much. And the last thing is the app sends your contact information to the lawmakers. So that, again, if you set up your profile, it's going to ask your name and your age and your email and a phone number. It doesn't ask anything more. Nothing more personal than that. It doesn't ask for like your social or any kind of like, debit card or credit card information or anything like that. So it just asks you for pretty much your contact information. So, and the reason that they ask you for a phone number and your email is that they want to verify that you live in the district. So, it's going to, once you put in this information, it's going to automatically link you with the people who represent your district. So the people who represent your state, your governors, your mayors, etc. So it's going to let you know all that stuff. And so you can just see what they're doing. Or if you want to contact them and express something, then you could do that. So it's just the best of both worlds, honestly. And so again, I just wanted to share this with you guys because like I feel like that I've gained so much knowledge by downloading this app. And I'm just not like talking just to hear myself talk. I'm being super serious. If you're really trying to get involved in the process and trying to make your voice heard, you could literally download this app and vote on stuff in Congress. It's just as simple as that. And so this is not about how you're going to vote on certain things, because you're entitled to your own vote. You know, that's what happens when you go to the voting booth. You know, you could say all day that you're going to vote for Bernie Sanders and Bernie Sanders and Bernie Sanders this and whatever. But, you know, once you go in that booth and close that curtain, you know, it's just you and the paper. And either you're going to do what you've been saying, or you got the choice and the right to vote the other way. So it's just all about that person's preference. So, you know, if I'm talking to people that aren't progressives, it's something that you can look into. It's not just an app for a certain type of party. It's literally for everybody. You don't even have to even associate yourself with a Democrat or a Republican. You can be independent and look at this app and be like, okay, I like this. I like what I'm seeing so far. So, yeah, that's just something to nail home. I just wanted to make sure, I'm looking through, I just wanted to make sure that I told you guys everything that I wanted to tell you in this episode. And I think I have. So I do want to tell you guys how to look up this app if you want to look it up. Obviously, you can go to your app store and type in Countable, and it should just be the first thing that pops up. Or you can go on the internet and type it in to get more about it at www.countable.com. And again, that's www.countable.com. So yeah, guys, I have a voice message box attached to this, a link. Once you hit on the link, you could voice your opinions or voice your questions or anything that you want to do, or you don't have to do it at all. But yeah, if you want to check this out for me and let me know how you like it. Let me know if you don't really like it that much. Let me know if you do like it. Let me know if you downloaded it. Let me know if you set your profile up, or if you're even going to set a profile up. Just let me know, because I got a few friends and a few family members that has this app already, because I told them about it, and they like it as far as I can tell. But I would love to have people that I don't even know that check this app out and tell me their honest opinion about the app. So yeah, guys, I think that's going to wrap it up for this episode 2 of Political Vibes. I hope everybody has a great rest of their Friday. I hope everybody has a great weekend. Episode 3 is going to be really, really soon. I'm going to try to be as consistent as I can with these videos, because again, I love the support. I love the views. And I love the interaction that I'm getting with people, and some of my friends that has downloaded my podcast. It's just awesome. It's just a good feeling. And I hope you guys tell more people that you know that I might not know of this app, because I just want to be as informative as possible. And that's for anyone. I look at everyone the same. because God looks at everyone the same in my eyes. Uh, Nobody's bigger than the next person. Either if you have money or you're popular or famous or whatever the case may be. Um, I feel like I've done my job if I've let people know on stuff that I feel like they would want to know about. And it's not about trying to persuade them to vote or not vote. I would rather for you to vote. Like, even if you don't vote for the same person that I vote with, I would like for you to use your right. I would like for you to use your U.S. citizen right, and that's to vote. People died for this, man, and even if I don't care if you're white, black, or Asian or Mexican. I've said this before. People have died for us to vote, and I feel like we should be using that. We should be using that. It's a powerful tool, and a lot of people talk about, well, my vote might not make a difference. Well, you know what? You don't know that because you haven't tried. It's a bunch of people feel that way, but just imagine if everybody decides to do it, you'll be amazed at what can happen. And it's just all about having the right people that's serving us. We just unfortunately have a bunch of people that are in these powerful positions that are not looking out for the best interests of us, of the American people. I mean, or at least the majority of us. I mean, I feel like you're going to always have that base of support that's going to be like, yeah, all these people are doing good. They might not even know who these people are. These people might not even done a damn thing for them, but it's just they're so used to voting this way because of this reason that they don't try to even look at nothing else. They don't try to have an open eye on anything else but the things that they want to, or the people that they want to vote for. And again, that's fine. It's just, are you consuming all the information that the person who you voted for, are you consuming all that information? Do you know everything that he or she is doing? That's supposed to be representing you. Do you know everything that they're doing? And it's a big chance that they don't. That they don't, and that's okay. It's a lot of stuff that Obama did that I didn't know about that I totally disagree with, and I didn't support. I voted for him and things like that because, again, some of these, well, pretty much all of them, these elections is just pretty much picking the less of two evils at the end of the day. It's just picking the less of two evils at the end of the day. And so, Obama had his up moments. He had some moments where I was like, okay, like I feel that, but he didn't push that envelope. And I personally, I think a lot of that had to do with he was a black president. He was the first black president, and I feel like a lot of that stuff he was scared to push on stuff that Bernie Sanders is pushing on, that, he was scared to move on because, he would be scared on how a large part of his base would react to that, but that's the chance you got to take if you're gonna hold the most powerful position in the world. He just didn't have that YOLO mentality. If people don't know what YOLO is, which, it's 2020, I hope people do know what YOLO is, but in case some of my viewers don't know what it is, it's you only live once. And, how do you want to go down in history? And not saying that Obama, not saying that history's going to frown upon Obama. I don't think it will, but he could have did so much more for everyone. And he took the moderate approach because he was a moderate Democrat. And as we see now, moderate Democrats are going extinct. People in the new age, this generation, don't want moderate, the same old moderate politician. They want somebody that's going to revolutionize things in this country. Start a revolution in the positive way, in the right way. Stuff that needs to be done. Stuff that like the media says that's radical. It's not radical to think that wages in Alabama or a lot of more places in the South has not went up in over 50 years. 50 years. But stuff still goes up. The prices on groceries and value things that we like, it constantly goes up while our wages are stagnant. And on top of that, don't even get me started with hours. On top of the stagnant wages, it's a lot of these businesses aren't given the necessary hours that people are wanting to work. Everybody's part-time because these companies don't want to pay for your insurance. That's why you have somebody like Bernie Sanders that is trying to do Medicare for all, because you should not have to rely on your company dictating your health. That's just something that should not fly. You should be able to see a doctor when you need to see a damn doctor. It's just that simple. You should go to the doctor and not have to worry about copays or deductibles or premiums. You should not have to worry about that kind of stuff. You just shouldn't. And again, if that's radical, then I'm totally for it. I'd rather be radical in the good way, in the positive way that's going to change people's lives for the better, than be the other kind of radical that hurts people or causes discomfort to people or make them feel like they're irrelevant or whatever the case may be. Come on. People know right from wrong. And it's a lot of people feel the same way I do. I just know they do. And I feel like it's enough of us to get Bernie Sanders on the ticket to face Donald Trump in the 2020 election. And I think he has enough support to win. That's just my personal opinion. Because he just has the policies and he has the stuff that not only sounds right, but feels right. Like, it's just that thing. It's just that those type of policies that you just feel that people need in their lives, because they do. No matter if you're Republican or Democrat, everybody needs this type of stuff. Everybody needs health care. Everybody needs higher wages. Everybody needs universal housing. Like, we need universal housing. Stuff that we always talk about, but we never get upset at the people who aren't doing this stuff for us. We're upset at how it is, but we're not doing anything to change it. And I'm telling you now, downloading this app will help inform you. It will help you vote. Going to the ballot box for the primaries, that's important. Going to the ballot box in the general election, which is the biggest election there is in the United States. We need that. You need that. That's important. So I'm going to end on that note, guys. I hope what I said resonated a little bit. And if it didn't, I'm just appreciative that you guys were at least willing to listen about a different perspective other than mine. Again, on my podcast, there's no right or wrong answers. But I do say what I feel is the right thing to say. And I'm going to keep doing that. And you should too. So I will see you guys on the next episode. You guys be good. Peace out. What's up, guys? It's Dottie here with another episode of Political Vibes. I hope everybody has had a fantastic day. I hope everybody has had a great week. I'm sorry I didn't give you guys any new content last week. I unfortunately was under the weather. I think I actually had a touch of the flu. So, yeah, fun stuff, right? So, I actually spent my week in bed. I missed work and everything. So, but I'm feeling better now. After all that medicine I took, I'm actually feeling better now. I went to the gym today and, yeah, feeling good, feeling refreshed. My batteries are recharged. I really wanted to make another episode soon for you guys, so I decided to do it today. I'm glad everybody tuned in for the first episode. I'm glad everybody tuned in for the last episode I made, episode 2. Thank you guys for your support. And I hope you guys keep supporting me. Yeah, I hope I do a good job to you guys. I hope I provide you with information, or you might already know this information that I'm giving you guys, but you maybe want to just show some support. And either way, I thank you guys. It means the world to me. So episode 3, I wanted to talk a little bit about information on primary voting in your state. The primaries are coming up. Iowa just had their caucus. New Hampshire's having their primary election coming up pretty soon. If you guys didn't know what a primary vote was, or the primaries, it's when members of your own party, so the same members, not the same members, the same party, different candidates debate against each other to try to take on the opposing president. So it's a Republican president in the White House. Everybody know it's Donald Trump, President Trump. So the opposite side, which is the Democratic side, you have candidates that are debating each other, going to debates, going to town halls or having town halls, and trying to persuade you to vote for them in the primary. And if you guys didn't know, some of the candidates who were running in the Democratic Party, it's obviously one person is Bernie Sanders, another is Joe Biden. He is the former vice president to President Obama. You have Pete Buttigieg. He's a young mayor out of Indiana. You have Amy Klobuchar. She's the senator from Minnesota. You have Andrew Yang. He is a businessman. He knows a lot about technology. So that's just a few of the people. And you have I think a couple of billionaires are in there. Tom Steyer, he's a billionaire. You got Mike Bloomberg, he's a billionaire. So you have numerous candidates that are running, that are trying to be the person to face Donald Trump in the big election, which is the general election. That's when you have the two parties, Democrat or Republican, or at least those are the main parties that everybody support. You have them in November going against each other, but the primary vote is specifically that particular party, candidates in that particular party running against each other. So that's the difference in between primary voting and or the primary and the general elections. So if you guys have been keeping up with Iowa, they had a caucus voting there, and it was pretty tight between Pete Buttigieg, which is the mayor I was telling you about from Indiana. Him and Bernie Sanders were virtually tied the last time I checked to see how far the voting came. I honestly don't understand why the votes aren't tallied yet all together. I think the last time I checked, it was at like 97% done, and it was virtually a tie. But I want to say Bernie Sanders won. I know he won the popular vote. They had a popular vote. They had a delegate vote, and they had a popular vote. And the popular vote, he was killing everybody, and he had a 6,000 vote lead over Pete Buttigieg in the popular vote. And so, honestly, I mean, if you're going to have a popular vote, whoever wins the popular vote, in my opinion, should win. And that means even in the general election to become president, I don't know, just the electoral vote and the popular vote, if you ask me which one I would choose, it would be the popular vote. I mean, to me, it's just only fitting. The electoral vote, you just got this weird kind of way of electing candidates instead of using obviously who's popular. That's just, to me, just kind of weird. And then you have like states, bigger states, mostly Democratic states that doesn't hold that many electoral votes than like a Republican state. Like, for example, the state I live in, Alabama. I want to say Alabama has like 22 electoral votes, and like California, which is like 10 times as big as Alabama, I think maybe only has like, and I could be wrong, but you can look this information up yourself if you want to get accurate information. But I feel like it's in the ballpark of about 12 to 16. So it's just, I don't understand why a state as big as California gets less electoral votes than Alabama. It doesn't really add up to me. But anyway, that's a whole nother subject for another day. I just wanted to tell you guys about the information on, again, primary voting within your state. If you guys want to get more information on when you vote in your state, then you can look this information up on Google. I don't have any specific websites with me at the time, but if you guys want to leave me a message or anything like that, or I could be more than happy to find that information. But I'm pretty sure within your state, you're gonna know, pretty much when you need to vote. I hope so. But I might attach a small little episode along with this, maybe a part 2 or something, to this episode that I'm shooting now, to provide you some accurate information on how would you look to see when your primary vote is within your state. But so yeah, I might just do that, or I might put it on my Twitter or something like that. But for the time being, I wanted to let you guys know on the information that I did have about primary voting in your state. So each state has their own selection professor picking a candidate. And again, each state has their own way of picking their candidate. So you usually have two primary ways of doing it, and that is either holding a caucus like Iowa did, or holding a primary vote like my state, Alabama, does. So, again, there's two ways that you can select these candidates, and that's either from a caucus or a primary. If you guys didn't know what caucus was, I could elaborate a little bit on that. So in a caucus, you have people that get together in these special type of events. So for example, in small precincts, you have groups of 50 to about 100 people that get together, and the different parties will have different ways of going about it, pretty much. But they have a process in place where people try to market for different candidates they campaign for, and so forth. So if that made any sense, I hope it did. That's pretty much what a caucus is. It's just special events that groups of people get involved in, and they're just regular people. I mean, people, obviously voters of that state. So if you guys didn't know what precinct was, a precinct is like a area that has a clear boundary line around it, kind of like making it easier for like police to know where a crime might take a place or something like that, or it's where you could go vote. So it's just at these type of public places where it's just I don't know, it's like a certain boundary around these places, and it might be a school, it might be a church, it might be some type of well-known building that is well known in that state, and so forth. So that's where precincts or caucuses are held. So I hope that helped out a little bit. And obviously, the second thing is a primary. So a primary is kind of like just an election that is based on party. For whom do you want to be your nominee? So it's just like a general election. You have, in a general election, you usually have a Democratic opponent going against a Republican opponent. And that's whoever wins the most votes. And it's usually, I don't know why, again, I don't know why we choose this system, but it's usually by the electoral system. It's not by the popular vote. I don't understand why you have two different ways of going by voting. If you're going to use the electoral vote, then why do you have a popular vote? And if you had a popular vote, why would you use the electoral vote? Kind of don't make no sense. But again, if you ask me which one I prefer a popular vote. But anyway, our system goes by electoral vote. So in the general election, you have two people from different parties. Usually it's a Democrat and a Republican going against each other, and whoever gets the most votes obviously wins the nomination to become the next president. So, but in a primary vote, which is before the general vote, you have the same party. You have a group of people in the same party going against each other, trying to get the nomination for that party. So you have you have Donald Trump, which is a Republican president, and you have the opposing party. The people within that party are going against each other within that party to face Donald Trump in a general election. So it was just all the people I named before, some of the people, Bernie Sanders, Elizabeth Warren, Amy Klobuchar, Joe Biden, Pete Buttigieg, Andrew Yang, so forth. So that's what a primary is. It's really, really important that you guys participate in that. It's really, really important that you guys find when you're the date that you vote. I wrote mine down. I think that our state votes March the 3rd. That's on a Tuesday. I think it's called Super Tuesday, but it is on a Tuesday. And I did see it was numerous of states that vote the same day I vote, or my state votes. A bunch of states. So maybe you're within that group, but I will find a website or the website that I looked at. It was a long time ago, but I could go back and find this particular website, and it should have your state on there of when you vote. So that's really, really important. I hope everybody is registered to vote. It's very, very easy, and it's free. So that's very, very important. Guys, we need to use our right, and that is to vote. It should not be any excuses why, if you're an adult, if you go to work, if you are grown, it's no reason why you're not registered to vote. It's no reason. So I won't take no for an answer. I'll try my best to inspire you or make you or give you information to get registered to vote, because it's so serious. We just it's people that are trying to become president. People are trying to get into these powerful positions that want to make our lives a lot better than what it is now. Financially, just financially, for the well-being of you, your family, your friends, your loved ones, just everything positive, or could have a positive impact in your life. That's why, again, I am a Bernie Sanders supporter. I do like progressive thinking. Stuff that Bernie Sanders has said, stuff that Bernie Sanders has policy-wise. A lot of people in mainstream media, a lot of moderate-minded people, and I don't have anything against moderate or Republicans or anything like that, but it's kind of crazy to think that everything Bernie Sanders is proposing, like universal housing, Medicare for all, addressing climate change, $15 minimum wage. It's crazy that a lot of folks are thinking that that's radical. That's radical positions. It's nothing radical about that. And if it is radical, it's radical for the good. You know, it's for, he's caring about working class families. And that is a serious, serious thing to me. It's a really, really serious thing. And I hope a lot of people take that and run with that. I hope a lot of people don't look at the politic side of it, but more of the policy side of it. Because what is this person going to do for you? What is he proposing that's going to help you and your family and your friends out, and your loved ones? What is this person going to do to impact your life for the better? And, you know, it's just a lot of people that are in this powerful position, or are in these powerful positions, that are not doing nothing. They're feeding people lies, and they're making one side go against the other side, and it shouldn't be about that. Like, I would want the same thing for a Republican or a Democrat or independent. I would want this, no matter what side of the aisle you on, no matter what color you are, what's your gender or religion or whatever. You know, if you are contributing in the United States, then you should be treated like everybody else. You should be making a livable wage. You should not have to be worrying about just, I don't know, having a place to lay your head. You should not be worried about climate change and, like, you're not able to live in your state anymore because all these extreme type of changes have came or has happened to your town, or it's too hot, or it's too cold, or too many storms, or whatever the case may be, or your health. You know, you have bad teeth, or you have a problem with your teeth, or something, you know, something like that. I would want you to get the appropriate dental care. If something's going on with you mental wise, I would want you to be able to go get mental care. If you have a broken arm or a broken leg, or if you're sick or anything like that, you should be able to go see a doctor, and it should not cost an arm and a leg, literally, to be able to be seen for these type of things. You shouldn't have any copays. You shouldn't have any deductibles. It's just kind of crazy that we're one of the only biggest countries that don't provide health care for their people. It's just wrong, and it's inhumane. And we should elect people who has the same type of values, the same type of mentality as us. Those are policies that I can get behind. That's somebody I can get behind. No matter if they're black, no matter if they're white, no matter if they're Mexican, no matter if they're Asian. And this person who has this is Bernie Sanders. And to me, that is the best person not only to go against Trump and have a fighting chance to win, but somebody I can get behind that has stuck to his guns while he's been in Congress for about 40 years. We got to think about this type of stuff, and yeah, I might be showing favoritism to Bernie over any other candidates, but again, my podcasts are progressive viewpoints, and you don't have to necessarily agree with it, but this is how I feel in my spirit. This is how I feel, and I'm passionate about it, and I'm going to keep being passionate about it. And if it's anything that, as silver human beings, if it's any kind of disputement or if it's any kind of disagreement that, people that are listening have, that's totally fine. We can debate these issues, but we should come to an agreement that's going to benefit both sides of the aisle. And again, that's why I argue Bernie Sanders is the best candidate, because both sides, in my honest opinion, feels what Bernie Sanders be putting down. People on both sides hear him when he speaks and say, you know what? I'm a working person. That don't sound bad. That don't sound bad to have health care for me and my family and not be tied down to a job that you might not particularly like to work at because they have insurance. That's not fair. You should not be tied down to a job. Even if you want to work there or not, you should not have to be tied down to a job's health care. And Bernie Sanders' plan takes care of all that. You don't have to worry about signing up or having your insurance through your company. It's going to be provided for you as a human right. It's not going to come out your paycheck. And that's just that is the biggest thing. That and climate change are the biggest things to me that he has over every other candidate that's trying to run to face Donald Trump in a general election. So that's what I wanted to speak about today on episode 3. I wanted to provide you guys information on primary voting in your state. I wanted to break down what a caucus was. I wanted to break down what a primary was. And I wanted to break down what a precinct was. And I hope I got that. I hope I provided that for you. I will either attach another short episode or attach another podcast episode explaining how you are how can you look up information on primary voting in your state. So either I will attach it to the episode that I'm doing now, or I will post it on my Twitter. My Twitter is posted or linked to my podcast, but it's at DahdieD92. That's DAHDEE, the number 9 and the number 2. So Yeah, follow me, guys, on Twitter. I usually provide a lot of retweets and likes on what's going on in the political world. But if I don't attach a video about information on how you can look up to see when your primary is in your state, then I will make an effort to post it on my Twitter. So either or, guys, I'm going to find a way to get you guys this information. I'm going to be making episode 4 really, really soon. Again, it's a voice message link that's attached to this podcast. You could leave me comments. You could request what you want me to talk about on my next episode. Give me ideas, and give me different perspective. That's why I welcome all that. And I hope you guys do that. I hope you guys like this episode. Please continue to support me. Please continue to listen. If you guys have anything that you guys want me to listen to, if it's a podcast or if it's a YouTube channel or if it's just to follow you on Twitter or Facebook, look me up. I'm on Twitter all the time. I'm on Twitter way more than I am on Facebook. So that's why I gave you guys, and I attached my Twitter link to my profile on my podcast. So I'm always on that. You can reach me again at DottieD92. And again, guys, I hope you guys have a fantastic Thursday. I hope you guys have a fantastic weekend. If I don't make another podcast this week, stay blessed, guys. Stay humble, and stay woke. Pay attention to these news. Pay attention to the news. Pay attention to these politics. Pay attention to what's happening in the world. Not saying that you have to dedicate all your time to it, but it's just always good to have knowledge on these type of things, because you never know what the government's doing. You never know who people who you might maybe have voted for are doing that you might not want them to do, or not following the agenda that you wanted them to do or follow. I feel like that's what's going on a lot within the Trump presidency. It might be. I know it is actually. It's a big base that supports what this guy's doing in the White House. I'm not one of them. I don't support anything, honestly, that he's doing in the White House, and it's not because he is a Republican. It's not because he's white. It's not because of this. Not because of that. It's because he's not doing anything to help me. He's not doing anything to help my family. He's not doing anything to help my friends and my loved ones. I know people. I got friends who voted for Donald Trump, and I'm pissed that they got screwed. I didn't vote for him, but I know people and friends that did vote for him, and they should be more outraged than I am, because he has promised a lot of stuff that he has not kept his word on, and he is a pathological liar. I'm going to just be real with you. He just lies all the time, and it's just like it's the new norm, and people are accepting that, and they shouldn't. The president, the elected officials that we vote into office, which are representatives, which are senators, which are governors, mayors, they work for the people. They're supposed to work for you. And if they're not doing their job, then they don't need to be in that type of position. Plain and simple. Elect people that will. Follow me on Twitter. I'll hip you to all this. I'm going to try my best to make an episode soon. But keep posted. Remain humble. And again, guys, stay woke. And that concludes this episode of Political Vibes. I'm Dottie. Talk to you guys later. Peace out. What's up, guys? It's Dottie here with another episode of Political Vibes. This is episode number 3. I'm sorry I wasn't able to provide you any content last week. Unfortunately, I was under the weather. I had a touch of the flu. So, my week pretty much consisted of laying in bed, taking medicine, and sleeping. But thank God I'm feeling better now. My batteries are recharged, and I really wanted to make an episode for you guys sooner rather than later. So, yeah, let's get into it. Episode 3 is going to be information on primary voting in your state. Primaries are coming up really, really soon. Some states have already had their primaries. So I really wanted to kind of provide you guys some kind of information on the whole primary voting, how the way you can vote and things like that. I hope everybody's already registered to vote, because it's really, really, the deadline's really, really coming close, if not already passed, to register to vote. The primary voting is right around the corner. At least for my state, it is. I live in Alabama, so our primaries is on the 3rd of March, if I'm not mistaken. So it's really, really coming up on us. If you guys didn't know what a primary vote was, I wanted to kind of explain what it is. Iowa has had their first voting take place, but it's called a caucus. It's not called a primary, it's called a caucus. So you have 2 ways of selecting candidates, and that's either through a caucus or a primary. So Iowa had their caucus, and last time I checked, Bernie Sanders was up on Pete Buttigieg in the Iowa caucus, which is good. If you like progressive candidate, Bernie Sanders is your guy. At least in my opinion, it is. But primaries are different than caucuses. A caucus, you have people that get together in these special kind of these special kind of events. So like, for example, in small precincts, you'll have groups of 50 to 100 people get together, and the different parties will have different ways of going about it. But they have a process in place in the caucus where people try to market for different candidates, and they campaign for different candidates and so forth. That's pretty much what a caucus is. It's kind of weird. In my opinion, everybody should have a primary ran in their state, not a caucus, because it's kind of confusing. But nonetheless, that's what they have in Iowa. Hopefully they maybe change the system in Iowa to make it easier for Iowans to, just have a primary rather than a caucus, because it's kind of a confusing process. So that's what a caucus is. A primary, all it is it's kind of like just an election that is based on party for whom do you want to be your nominee. That's all a primary is. So that's what a primary is. That's what a caucus is. They're two different things, but they both hold very, very high value in the voting process. So that's what that is. I want to elaborate a little bit more on what a primary is. It is different than in general election, and so I wanted to get into that a little bit more. I want to take our first break, and when we come back, we're going to discuss the difference in between primaries and the general election. So stay with me, guys, and we'll be right back. Hey guys, we're back here on Political Vibes. So yeah, I want to get right back into it. I was talking about in the last segment about caucuses, about primaries, and I wanted to let you guys know on what a primary is. It's different from, they're really similar, but they're also different between a primary and a general election. A primary election is one party is debating within that party. So, like for example, the president of the United States is Donald Trump. He's a Republican. He's in the Republican Party, so he's a Republican president. So the incumbent, or the opponent, if you would say, is the opposite party. So in this case, the opposite party is the Democratic Party, and it's going to be candidates within that party debating each other to become the Democratic nominee to go against Donald Trump. So that's what the primary is. So again, the primary, the Democrats are the ones that are primarying, that are having these primary voting. And to give you an example of some of the candidates that are running to try to become the person who goes on and face Donald Trump in November, let me see. One would be Bernie Sanders, of course. Another would be former vice president to Obama, Joe Biden. Another person would be Pete Buttigieg. He's a mayor from Indiana. You have Amy Klobuchar. She's a senator from Minnesota. I want to say you have two billionaires. They're so-called Democrats or running as Democrats. Tom Steyer and Mike Bloomberg. To be fair, though, I do like Tom Steyer. I don't know. I like his demeanor. I like what he says. I like that he's rich, and I don't like that he's, well, let me rephrase this. I don't mind that he's rich, but I like the fact that he is a rich guy, saying that rich people need to pay more in taxes. So I do respect that. Now, if you ask me who I want to run against Donald Trump, obviously it's Bernie Sanders, but I do like Tom Steyer. Mike Bloomberg, he's kind of the opposite of Tom Steyer. He's a billionaire also, but he's the opposite. I think he's more a part of the establishment type of candidates. But Anyway, those are some of the candidates that are running in the Democratic Party. And that's what the primary is all about. It's about selecting a certain individual within that party to go on and face the opposing party, and so forth, or vice versa. If it was a Democratic president, then if it was a primary, if this was the primary year to vote, then it would be the Republican Party. Or it could be another party, but the main two parties are obviously Republican and Democrat. So those are the two main parties. So that's what a primary vote is. A general election is the quote unquote big election. That's when you have a Democrat versus a Republican. And that's whoever wins that election becomes president. So the primary isn't that, but it's a very, very important step to the general election. So I just wanted to, again, highlight the two in their differences, but they're really, really similar also. So when we come back, I'm going to give you more information on how to know when to vote in your state in your primary election. So we're going to take a short break, and we'll be right back, guys. Hey guys, we're back here on Political Vibes. Thanks for hanging in there with me through this podcast. So I wanted to pick up where I left off in the last segment. If you guys didn't know, when I was talking about caucuses and when I was telling you that they have small precincts, if anybody didn't know what precincts was, I will further elaborate on what a precinct is. So, only thing a precinct is it's an area that has a clear boundary line around it, making it easier for the police to know where a crime is taking place, or where you can go vote. So these places, these precincts, it just are at our locations that makes it easier for police to keep watching. Pretty much a public place is all pretty much what a precinct is. So I mean, it could be a school, it could be a church. It can be some kind of establishment within your state that a lot of people know, that a lot of the public goes to. So anything like that, a school, a church, etc. That's where usually caucuses are held. They might be at like some kind of like business, something like that. So I just wanted to give you guys like an example on what a precinct was. And it's spelled PRECINCT, precinct. So that's what a precinct is. I just wanted to let you guys know that. So the last thing I wanted to talk about was giving you guys information on your primary, when it's going to be within your state. And how I found this information out was, only thing I did, guys, honestly, is I went to Google and I typed in 2020 presidential election calendar, and an article of New York Times came up. And on this calendar, it shows you different dates and they're highlighted, and you could hit these different dates, and it'll show you when your state votes. So, for example, the month of February, it has a calendar. It has a calendar for all the months. So, but within February, it shows you it's highlighted. I think the red highlight is when the primaries and caucuses are held, and I think the yellow highlight is when the debates and stuff are held. So, like for example, I scroll down to March, and March the 3rd was highlighted in red. So I tapped that, and it showed that Alabama is one of the states that is voting on that day. So, and it has a bunch of states on March the 3rd that's voting. So you're liable to hit that one, and your state's more than likely up there. I think it was about 15 states that's voting on the same day that my state's voting on. But it's pretty self-explanatory. And again, if you want to go type in on Google New York Times 2020 presidential election calendar, it should pop up. And so it's really, really easy. And I wouldn't just be saying that because I'm all about the easy. So if I say it's easy, it's pretty easy, guys. And so, but I will do this too. If you guys follow me on Twitter, I will share that on my page. So you guys could click that link and go straight to it. If you guys didn't know my Twitter handle, it's at DottieD92. That's DAHDEE, the number 9 and the number 2. So yeah, guys, that's pretty much it on this episode. I do want to take one final break to shout you guys out and let you guys know how much I appreciate you guys' support. So after this last break, we're going to wrap up the show. Stay tuned. Hey guys, we're back here on Political Vibes. So that wraps up episode 3. I hope I provided you guys with some key information that's going to help you out. This primary voting that's taking place is very, very important. I would rather have Bernie Sanders come out in this primary to go on and face Donald Trump. That's honestly the only person I think that can beat him head to head. Again, guys, Bernie Sanders is a progressive. He's been a progressive. He has stood on the same type of policies, and he has had the same message the 40 plus years he's been serving in Congress. And so I just feel like he's for the average workers. I feel like he's for the middle class. I feel like he's for people like me, people like you. Hell, I don't know. Maybe you're rich. Maybe you're able to afford healthcare. Maybe you're able to afford rent and afford your house or afford your apartment and afford your bills by working one job. If so, kudos to you. But it's a lot of people that I know, including myself, that has to work 2 and 3 jobs to just make it. And I'm talking about just being able to make it. And to me, that's unfair. To me, it's wrong. And Bernie Sanders feels the same way. And his message resonates to me. And That's just coming from me. Like I said, guys, this is an opinionated show, and I'm just giving you guys my honest opinion. You might think it's somebody else that's that you support that's able to dethrone Donald Trump, or hell, you might even support Donald Trump. I'm not trying to judge anybody. Hey, you support who you support, you like who you like, but this is my show, and I am giving you guys my opinion on who I think that would be a better president and who could change our lives for the better. I just think stuff like health care for all is a great policy. I think the Green New Deal, which is a climate change policy that he has, I think climate change is a real big deal. I think that universal housing is a big deal. I think that at least having a $15 minimum wage is a big deal. Those are things that I care about, and those are things that he care about, and I support that. If Donald Trump had those same policies, I would support him, but obviously he does not. If you want my honest opinion, he just serves people who are like him, who's rich. And I don't know about you, but I'm not one of those people. So yeah, there's that. And so anyway, guys, I wanted to thank you guys for tuning in. I want to, excuse me, I want to thank you guys for showing me support, showing me love. Thank you guys for following me on Twitter. And again, guys, if you want me to talk about anything, if you have any questions, if you have any type of topics you want me to talk about, please at me on Twitter. Please, it's a message link, a voice message link that's attached to all my podcasts. And if you have the Anchor app, you could leave me voice messages. So if you like what I'm doing, let me know. If you don't, let me know. If it's things that you want me to talk about, let me know this, guys. Thank you again for the support. Hopefully episode 4 will be coming to you guys soon. Peace and blessings, guys. Have a good one.